Slight bit of a delay with the bowlers getting their next pairs. Should have teams moving in action momentarily. Coming up second of 5 qualifying games. All brand new faces coming on in the live stream pairs. We'll get you your rundowns of all the players you'll see. Lanes 17 through 22 here at New Berlin Bowl. Win the Midwest Championship doubles presented by Bowlers Headquarters. Rolls on with its second game of qualifying.
Yeah, we're ready.
And we're firing game 2. Qualifying of 2019 Midwest Championship doubles presented by Bowlers Headquarters.
That's small.
I'm Phil Brylow bringing this to you on the Bowlers Headquarters Facebook page, 10 on the Deck YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us this morning. This action is 112 players, 56 doubles teams working their way down after this qualifying round to our top 12 that will advance into match play. And we've got some teams crossing right to left. Got some other teams crossing left to right. And some bowlers without jerseys. We'll do the best we can here getting you those names to match up with their scoreboard positions. Bowlers on lane 22 this game started on lane 28. Last game. So 22B, Rich Reipel, bowling with 22 double B, John Schwengel. Your A's on 22, Billy Wolf is A, Chris Rohr, double A. On 21, your A and double A. A is Ryan McCoy, B, Dakota Daniels. And your B is just Anthony Jordan, fire first for his team. Now you see Peter Spreadbury, double B on 21, firing away for his team. We'll get you a couple frames with this pair, and then we'll slide it over to 19 and 20, get you the bowlers that you're firing away over there. We should have Game 1 results coming out to you shortly. They should have those results posted as well. There's a Facebook page for the 2019 Midwest Championship Doubles. You can see the lane pattern there. Other various things pertaining to this event, and they should have the standings updated periodically on that Facebook page as well. As soon as we get those standings after Game 1 from the tournament office, we will bring them to you. again, 25th anniversary edition of this event. Of course, for the first 24 years, it was known as the Wisconsin Championship Doubles. Now we've expanded, not just Wisconsin, Midwest Championship Doubles. Of course, the teams from all across Midwest bowling for years in this event. And back to the original home of this event when Doug Schmidt first ran this event 25 years ago. It was in this bowling center, a little bit different back then though. It was Kuglich's New Berlin Bowl. Of course, the Kuglich family, a great name in Milwaukee bowling for many, many years. I always like seeing Bobby Greenfield, just don't like seeing him under these. Condolences on your father, sir. So good to see you. So I missed Bobby last year when we were down in Memphis. And he's here this weekend, unfortunately, with his father passing away. And the bowling community, I know, really showed their condolences for you. And it's hopefully I'm going to be back down in Jonesboro in February at the tour. I'll have to make a trip into Memphis. I'll get a hold of you. So thanks, Bobby. Great Hall of Famer Bob Greenfield. Been residing in Memphis the last couple of years. Of course, he's very familiar to many of us in the Milwaukee area. Always good to see Bobby, but never good when we have to see him under these kind of situations. Still bowling down in Memphis, though. Seen him taking some tournaments down there. I know he's a big fan of the man who's probably going to be voted PBA Rookie of the Year, Michael Holloman. I know he's done some bowling against Holloman down there, and he was kind of tooting Holloman's horn. Right when he was coming out on tour, and Bob wasn't too far off on that. So after Spreadberry's shot here, we'll get you over to 19 and 20. Check out that pair as well. I'll get you a few frames of all the players in the field today. That's going to need some help in that 40-foot pattern. Almost got the big break. Spreadberry leads the 4-pin. You see Benny Cooper stepping up. Benny, proprietor of Court Lanes North here in Milwaukee now. Get to see Benny every Thursday night in our 1050 Scratch League at Riviera Lanes. And how about that? 6 moves to 10, doesn't take it down. Pretty clean pin decks here at New Berlin Bowl. That pin skidded and stopped. Benny Cooper bowling with Amber Gerke today. So you've got Gerke and Cooper, B and double B. On lane 28 and double A on lane 20, Jim Prewey, Brian Austing. There you see Nick Wetzel leading things off. He's 19A. Wetzel's partner Eric Fritten will be double A on that pair. Justin Duzon, 19B. And you see his partner, Nick Speck. Speck is double B on lane 19. And out of the frying pan into the fire for Speck. Once again, players bowling straight through on this 40-foot custom designed pattern by Eric Pearson. Center's been open his New Berlin Bowl. This is its 13th season after this building was closed up for several years after the center was Kuglich's New Berlin. Then it was purchased by AMF Bowling back in the early days of AMF Bowling. And then the center fully remodeled, added on to 28 lanes in the center as compared to the 24 when this was Kuglich's or AMF. And they actually used to have about 3 steps down from the concourse area into the bowlers area. They filled all that in with concrete prior to installing the lane beds. And these lane beds weren't new. These lane beds are probably close to 20 years old. When they were installed, they were brought in from a center out in Oregon. Got some early results for you. We don't have any individual results, but the scoring pace is kind of low. And as soon as I say we don't have individual results, Michael James gives me the individual results. So, took a peek in at Spreadbury and Jordan. First couple of frames of this game. We'll get back and get a peek on them in a little while. They're your leaders after game one, plus 73. We'll take a look at our team in second place with Charlie Reed and Riley Smith momentarily. They're bowling over on lanes 17 and 18. They're at plus 68. Our defending champions, Kyle Zagar and Ryan Zagar, plus 67. Tie for fourth, Adam Richa, Harley Ahman, who we saw in game one. Chris Mueller, Vance Vetter, tied for fourth and fifth at plus 55. Right now, your cut to the top 12 would be a plus 25. Dave Levinsky, Chris Pearson. And they'll have some scoring updates to the Midwest Championship Doubles Facebook page momentarily for you. "12 teams will advance to match play. 14 teams in total will take home a check." And yes, Jason Fudo, you are watching. We're actually watching bowling in New Berlin. I mean, in the greater Milwaukee area, that's fine, but good to see Jason popping on the live stream. So I'm Toss the Rock Thursday night at Riviera, subbing in the 1050 League there, right next door to us. Bowling with Chad Kloss and his Bowlers Headquarters team. But Joe Natoli, you're watching it too. You could drive here as well. Come on, Joe. Don't be giving grief to Fudo. Get to see some familiar faces on the live stream. If you can't make it down here in New Berlin Bowl to watch in person, next best thing is watching it here on the Facebook live stream and the YouTube stream. Thanks for those of us joining on the Bowlers Headquarters Facebook page, and those of you joining us on the YouTube 10 on the Deck Productions channel. Yeah, this is not the only bowling event going on in the Milwaukee area today. Greater Milwaukee Bowling Association. It's a handicap trios tournament that's going on over at Riviera Lanes. Dan Doherty and the family taking care of business over there at Riviera. Good luck to Joe Natoli, Gus Chinaris, and Suzanne Rondi as they take to the lanes in historic West Allis. Not too many places you can still bowl on the Pine and Maple, but you can do it there. Let's get over to 17-18. Riley Smith. Mentioned he and his partner Charlie Reed sitting in second after the opening game. Reed A, Smith double A on lane 18. Their lane mates on lane 18, Dick Geppel and Ron Buxbaum.
I don't know.
John Megna stopping by the booth. Good to see John here. Of course, John, part of Bowlers headquarters as well. Keeping an eye on things. Another man that's a Hall of Famer in the Greater Milwaukee area and the Wisconsin State Hall of Fame. He and Chris Kobus, doubles champions with the ABC tournament back in the 80s. Yeah, just the amount of history that there is out here. Whether it's players on the lanes making history, guys like Chad Moss, Dave Barras, Dave Lubinsky, Chris Pearson with Red Carpet Lanes, USBC team. I mean, there's so many titles from Wisconsin that have been won over the years. And a lot of bowlers from Wisconsin in that USBC Hall of Fame, both on the men's and women's side of that Hall of Fame. So we mentioned Reed and Smith, Geppel and Buxbaum, their lane mates. Mike Stile, Derek Off, bowling on lanes 17A and AA. Stile and Off sitting at plus 54 in sixth place after the opening game. Their lane mates Daniel Carlson, Stephen Brinkman. Not on the first page of the leaderboard after the opening game. Brinkman, multiple-time ABC titleist. Now bowling in the 15 over ranks. Brinkman just saw he was out at Ron Moore's big South Point Senior Shootout. A couple players from Wisconsin, or Ryan Lever out there as well. Didn't take home any major prize money, but got themselves a check or two out there at that great event. And Ron Moore having another great event out in Las Vegas, South Point Bowling Plaza, early February. Las Vegas Open. I'm sure there's information you can get to on Facebook or well, just use Google. I know there's a link from the South Point Senior Shootout page to that Las Vegas page for that big tournament. It's an open tournament. It's the same week as the PBA Tournament of Champions, so you obviously know that there won't be a lot of high-level PBA players out there, but hey, they'll have 160 so the best next level PBA players and amateurs as well to try to take down that prize money that they'll have. And Ron Moore and his lovely wife Lita and their staff putting all that together for that big tournament in early February out at the South Point Bowling Plaza. Carlson and Brinkman. Struggles in game one. They're sitting at minus 15 for their first game total. Of course, they're using the PBA plus minus system here. So our leaders, Jordan and Spreadberry, obviously shot 473 as a team total their first game. So they're sitting at that plus 73 total. As par for a doubles game using PBA plus minus system will be 400. If this was 5-player teams, par would be 1,000. Well, after the first game of qualifying here, as Fred Blanky makes the comment on Facebook that it's a tough shot out here. Yeah, that 40-foot pattern playing tough. There's only 17 of our 56 teams that averaged 200 as a team for that first game. And one would think as this pattern gets progressively ripped apart, as the day goes on, 0 re-oil on this 47-foot pattern. It can make for a long day for some players out here. As things progress through these 5 games of qualifying, 3 games of match play, and then the top 5 in the stepladder finals. Let's get over to our pair with our leaders, Spreadbury and Jordan, on it. Spreadbury and Jordan are your B and double B respectively on lane 22. So you'll see others coming up shortly. Struggles early this game for both players, as neither player pacing at 200 right now. Jordan double open. Spreadbury working to get back to par. I'm sorry, they're 21A and double A, 21B and double B for Spreadbury and Jordan. Once again, a little hard to follow when everybody's A and B, or A and double A, and you're getting cross lane movement. So either way, they're still struggling for our leaders when you look at 21B and double B. Neither player pacing at 200 right now for Spreadbury and Jordan. Both teammates with 1 open, no doubles through 6. Anthony Jordan and his partner Peter Spreadbury, back in the days when we had this tournament finals on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel for a couple of years back in the early aughts. Actually, it was late aughts. They had a TV appearance, and wow. 40-foot pattern, oil all the way across the lane, and if you project that ball left to right, it will stay or it will find those gray boards. It's one thing I noticed bowling here in the past, personally, some of these pairs, the outside, so you got that ball outside of about second board where these AMF synthetic lanes are screwed into the supports underneath. Didn't exactly have a bounce back effect off the gutter. A little more on the direct projection there by Jordan, and he has the spare on the board. Good toss by Spreadberry, but the 10-pin remains. Let's check in with our team. Sitting in second place right now, here's Charlie Reed. Reed has his home city listed as San Antonio, Texas for this event. Bowling with Riley Smith. Reed, a former teammate of Riley Smith at McKendree, another big teammate of those two players at McKendree. A.J. Johnson. Johnson had a heck of a summer on the Go Bowling PBA Tour. Got himself some bonus action in both the Flow Bowling ATX Invitational and the China Tiger Cup, and a big win in a non-PBA event in Korea at the Samho Cup for Johnson as well. Thought maybe we'd have a chance to see an AJ up here for this event. Of course, he's been doing a lot of traveling lately. Lots of bowling, lots of coaching as well. I saw himself, Sean Rash, Jason Sterner, several other players giving clinics and such through a tour of Japan on either side of that China Tiger Cup. A couple of guys, yeah, bring back bowling with the champs. Guys, trust me, I've tried talking to some of the broadcast TV channels around here, and bowling's not high in the equation yet. Maybe all the success that the PBA's having with Fox Sports might help. Might not be the full-blown 33 weeks that we used to get with Bowling with the Champs back in the day, but if we keep seeing those good success ratings on Fox, maybe we convince one of the local broadcasters again to bring something back with bowling. Hey, I've tried. We had a good run on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, Spectrum Sports as well. Unfortunately, Spectrum took a different direction, and it wasn't just here in Milwaukee either. It was all across the nation. They pretty much shuttered all their local sports channels for Spectrum and changed them over into Spectrum News. And we'll keep fighting the fight. Worst comes to worst, if we can't do it over the normal broadcast airwaves, we've got the interwebs, as they like to say. And maybe we can get something going between my jaunts out on the PBA Tour with Flow Bowling. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to Flow Bowling yet, you got a whole bunch of PBA competition coming up January, February, March. I'll be along for that entire ride, except for a couple events that you'll see exclusively over on Bowl TV with the 2020 U.S. Open and the 2020 USBC Masters. You know, whether you're watching your live stream bowling with with guys like me, Craig Elliott, Mike Flanagan. There's a bunch of independent, Savage Bowling, bunch of guys out there doing some individual live streaming of tournaments, or you get into bigger productions like Bowl TV and Flow Bowling. Either way, Flow Bowling, Bowl TV, both worth the subscription price. I don't get my subscription for free, ladies and gentlemen, for Flow Bowling. If I'm not watching it, if I'm not on, I got to pay for it. And I think it's worth every penny, especially when I don't have to listen to myself. I get to listen to somebody else once in a while. And the staff at USBC and Bowl TV, the great work they do with the PWBA. Now they're bringing you a bunch of exclusive tournaments. On the collegiate side of things, every USBC collegiate Tier 1 event coming to you in the 2019-2020 season. Join our friends over here for 19 and 20 for just a moment. Nothing big on the scoreboard here for these players. And I've always thought these two pairs here, 17, 18, 19, and 20, not the easiest pairs in the house, especially with tougher lane patterns on them. Used to bowl in a sport league here shortly after they opened, under the original owners of New Berlin Bowl before the Poznansky family took things over a few years back. And 17 and 18 can play a little bit different. 19 and 20 definitely play a bit different, but as these bowlers bowl their 5 games across 28 lanes inside New Berlin Bowl, no one's going to hit the perfect pairs across the house. Adjustments will need to be made. Balls will need to be thrown well in order to score on this tough pattern. Once again, only 17 of our teams to the plus after our opening game. Well, our players in second place, Reed and Smith, your 18A and 18AA respectively, having a solid game. They look like they're going to take over the lead. We'll go check in with our Game 1 leaders shortly with Jordan and Spreadbury, but the struggle's continuing for that team as Spreadbury opened in the 8th frame. Spreadbury's looking at a maximum of 189. Jordan's going to be looking at a maximum of 196. Yeah, I got to go back and watch Bucksbaum throw one. He's the only guy I've ever seen in the last 5 years convert a 5-pin with a purse on his right shoulder. It was during a New Year's Day tournament out of Fox View Lanes. He was having a good time that day. When doesn't Ron Bucksbaum have a good time? Taking a peek around the center, looks like Gary Exner's going to be getting up in his 10th frame. Exner had a 5-bagger and open, and now 3 in a row after that, so Exner's looking at 265. Unfortunately, though, Exner's partner is only going to fire 170 this game. Exner and Billy Harris We're sitting under par after the opening game. They were in 35th place at minus 29. Can still get back to the plus. Exner can fire off the sheet here. We'll keep you updated on his progress as he's off camera over on, I think it's 23 and 24. And once again, the combination of the topography and this pattern breaking down, the oil getting dispersed in various places down the lane caused ripple shot right there. Hangs right, leaves that 2-pin. Daniels, though, the opposite effect. He is getting it right from the left side. Causes the old 4 through the heart. So Exner did get his punch for 266. His team 36 over on the game, and that'll get his team to the positive. And the way this is pacing out right now, only 17 teams are plus after the first game. Exner and Harris getting themselves back in the contention. And if both bowlers can escape with a block today, 15 to 20 over on a team, get to that plus 40, plus 45 number. The way it's looking right now, that'd have a pretty good chance to get you in the match play round. Of course, there'll be 30 bonus pins available per match once we get into match play this afternoon. There's something you don't see too often. Over on lane 23, a right-hander picking the 4 off the 7. So the struggles continue for our leaders. As Jordan can't find more than a single strike at a time this game. And we'll get you back over to our current second place team with Reed and Smith as they're going to be stepping up for their 10th frame momentarily. Fritton not happy with that release. Still manages to get 10 down on the crossover with the head shaker. It's never a good sign. Hi, Mark Wickerman. Everybody's here today. Seen some faces I haven't seen in a while. Faces we used to see on the lanes, sir. You had to have bowled here when this was the Cougie's New Brillo, when it was the original doubles tournament, right? 25 years ago? Did you ever win this?
It was close.
He was close, okay. So
How you like your new gig?
it's good. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. So
A lot of traveling.
yeah, it's a lot of traveling with the PBA stuff. That's why it's nice doing something like this. I know a lot of the guys, you know, and they're having it. They're
How many weeks are you on the road?
it was about 7 months out of the year last year. Yeah. Well, Yeah, my wife tolerates it. If she's watching right now, I hope. Man, we'll find out. So.
That's good. I mean, God, you meet all the best players in the world.
Always good getting visit at the booth. Mark Wickerman stopping by saying hi, and that's a quality player for many, many years. Of course, Mark Wickerman, one of the rare players that have shot 900 for a 3-game series. And there's only one bowling center in the world that's had 2 900 series thrown in that bowling center, Classic Lanes Greenfield, right here in the Milwaukee area. Wow, and Charlie Reed, well, I don't think that single pin's going to bite him too bad right now, considering his partner can go off the sheet for 250. Reed with 236. They should find themselves well in the lead of this event, as they were in second coming into this game, with Jordan and Spurbury, our leaders, struggling badly. As Jordan and Spurbury are going to be about 80 under for this game, as Spurbury converts a 10 pin, which he does. And so, advantage right now, Riley Smith and Charlie Reed. As Smith steps up in his 10th frame. We'll see if he waits. It looks like we got a bit of a breakdown at 17. Mechanics wait until Smith throws his ball before he fixes it. And Smith gets the 7 to go late. Yeah, Smith really started coming on the youth bowling scene when he was a junior in high school in the Kenosha area. He and his sister Rochelle, both solid high school players. Rochelle, now a physical therapist, got her degree at Carroll University. Riley Smith, his degree from McHenry. Smith working for Uline in the Kenosha area when he's not on the lanes. And a big game there for Smith, and we're going to have player movement. And game 3 of this qualifying round, 2019 Midwest Championship Doubles, presented by Bowlers Headquarters from New Berlin Bowl in New Berlin, Wisconsin. I'm $2 Phil Brilo, and I'll be back with you for that 3rd game coming up next.
Okay. Enjoy life. How about you?
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's in your free ball bag. The same way.
Yeah, I get the other stuff away because I'm
Victor, what's up, buddy? Kim says hi.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But she was playing Bingo Friday, so that, yeah.
Was she?
Oh, yeah. You know, tell her that she's going to expect it. Oh, yeah, she went and played with her daughter and her fiance.
Did she win?
No, since, like, one away, like 4 games up to 1.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, it,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
If 300 is even. Tuesdays now because there's not as many people. Fridays is so hard to find a spot. She comes in. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's going good. Not any better. Gentlemen, I use that term.
A little bit of local flavor as we start game 3 here. Jim and Shirley Stahl. Shirley 22A, Jim 22AA. For Shirley, longtime great bowler on the ladies' side of the equation. PWBA Tour back in the day for Shirley. And a 300 game a week or so ago down at Castle Lanes and Racine for Shirley. Still firing. I'm not going to divulge her age, but you're firing that good at that age. It gives a lot of other players something to look forward to. (22B) and double B will be Ben Glasscock and Nick Plouffe, respectively, for your 10B and double B. There you see Paul Kabaski stepping up. Kabaski and Ryan Jastrock, 21A and double A, respectively. Here's your double A for Kabaski. And Kabaski with the strike. Back in the days when we were on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel and Spectrum Sports, Kabaski, closest player ever to shoot 300 on TV at 299. Back in the ring 10 pin on the last shot at Sunset Bowl, an over 40 event we had out there. Of course, we did have one 300 game. That was during the days of the Motion Plus lanes, alternate shot doubles. Dave Gajewski, Tony Buss were the authors of that 300 game. So we had one in 11 years. Not too shabby. Tom Fennig, Ray Shruby. A couple of guys that have bowled doubles together for a long, long time. Fennig a couple times at the Junior Hall of Fame tournament. He's helped some youth bowlers earn some great scholarship money in that event run by Shannon Lubinsky. Of course, that event just about 3 weeks ago. Full house up at Bolero in Wauwatosa. For that great event, over 90 of the best players in Wisconsin and Illinois coming up to help those youth teams earn over $10,000 in scholarship money in that Junior Hall of Fame event. Year 12 of that event for Shannon Lubinsky and her crew. That's a big crew that helps out with that event, with all the raffles, all the fundraisers, keeping that tournament running smooth. It's a heck of a workforce that Shannon Lubinsky's had put together over the years to help her run that great event. And of course, I believe this is the 4th year in a row they had Linda Barnes come up and be one of the featured players in the Junior Hall of Fame event. We'll leave you another couple of shots in this pair, and then we'll move you to feature some other bowlers coming up here. 3 pairs of coverage will be bouncing around. throughout the qualifying round here this morning. Let's take you over to 17-18. Scott McDougall stepping up as bowler B on lane 17. McDougall bowling with Bob Nowacek. Nowacek handling the pro shop duties at Fox View Lanes in Waukesha now. Best Fit Pro Shop, one of the 2 locations they have. Corey Rocketshell taking care of business up in Sussex at their other location. 17A and AA on that pair are Alan Mendoza and Victor Cortez Jr. respectively. Bowling on lane 18. A will be CJ Tips, AA Alex Beard. 18B will be Steve Fisher. Fisher bowling with Ryan Greenwood. Greenwood will be your double B on lane 18. Once again, you can't tell your bowlers just by your numbers and your letters. We'll keep you informed the best we can with these players as they make their way across the center. Game 2 scoring update should be coming across the wires shortly. As all pairs have now finished their second game of qualifying. That's funny. You look at a bowler right there that sees that messenger come back across, like we just saw. lane 18. The headpin actually gets back into that right gutter about
Hey, Mark, you want to get us a drink?
a foot, if not.
What do you want?
Hold on, we have to.
What do you want?
Hold on, we gotta get a drink order. Ray Shrewby putting in a drink order. All right. Hold on, I thought I was gonna see something newsworthy there. I thought I was gonna see Mark Wickerman actually buy a round of drinks for somebody. It was close. Wickerman started going for his wallet. Shrewby said no. I thought we were gonna see history there. Mark Wickerman went for his wallet to buy a round of drinks and ended up getting shot down. Let's take a peek over in 19 and 20. Rich Blake, that's a guy we saw a few times back in our old Time Warner Sports Channel shows. He and his wife Rochelle numerous times made our 2+1 trios tournament. Blake is your double B on that pair of bowling. And Paul Bober. Bober and Blake, plenty of success back in the days of our Time Warner Cable Sports Channel shows. Bober is 20B. Blake 20 double B. Zach Vasey bowling with his brother Dustin. Zach just out of high school. And that two-handed style became explosive for him his last couple of years of high school. Had some solid finishes with this team from Racine Park. So, basically of the Zach variety, your 20A, Zach. Not sure if he's bowling collegially or not. I'll have to ask him between frames. Basically of the Dustin variety is your 20 double A. Getting over to lane 19. Steve Greenspan is your bowler A. On that pair. Former winner of this event, Rick Hara. The doubles partner for Greenspan. Hara going to be 19 double A. Andy Bunkowski and Joe Jans, your B and double B on lane 19. Thanks to everybody joining us on the dueling live streams today. Those of you joining us on the 10 on the Deck YouTube channel. And those of you joining us on the Bowlers Headquarters Facebook channel as well. Bowlers Headquarters sponsor this event, added money to the event, bringing you this live stream. And they've got some extended Black Friday sales going on. See Chad Kloss, John Megna, Will Welch, all at Bowlers Headquarters, 92nd Street between Oklahoma and Beloit and Milwaukee. Deviate Poison Green, only the 15-pound variety for sale at the price of $170 with your drilling, finger grips, and thumb slug included. And regardless of what you're looking for in bowling bags, shoes, or accessories, take 10% off all the way through the rest of 2019 at Bowlers Headquarters. Stop in and see Chad, John, or Will. And we want to thank them again for the sponsorship. Not just this Midwest Championship Doubles cash event, added cash to the event, but also for supplying the live stream. Oh, we saw that big finish for Charlie Reed and Riley Smith at the end of game 2, and they are now your leaders at plus 151. Mike Stile, Derek Off in second place, plus 135. Jamie Kaiser, Jerry Mars, third, plus 117. And a big drop back, 50 pins back. John Davis, Jack Sullivan in fourth at plus 67. Dave Barris, Chad Moss in fifth, just a pin behind Davis and Sullivan. Right now, you cut 12th place. It's plus 12. It'll be James Tucker, Chad Kloss. They're in the last spot to advance. The Vassies just behind by a single pin. They're at plus 11. Glasscock and Plouffe in 14th at plus 9. And just 16 of our teams, the positive. Actually, Spreadbury and Jordan at even par in 16th after their tough game 2. And they'll keep giving you updates. So you see it right there. Doug Schmidt bringing the big board in so all the players know where the cut numbers are. But of course, we haven't even reached the halfway point of qualifying yet. Once we get to the 5th frame of this 3rd game, we'll be at that halfway point. Shrewby and Fennig sitting at minus 61 after their first 2 games of qualifying. Glasscock and Plouffe sitting at the number to cash right now, plus 9. Once again, 3 games remaining. Still a lot of room out there for teams like Shrewby and Fennig. Might be a bit under the number right now, but can make their way well back. A couple of solid games and keeping everything else clean on the board. On this pair of the stalls, Shirley and Jim sitting at minus 96 after their first 2 games. While Jastrock and Kabaski are at minus 105, but still room to move early in this qualifying round. So at the pace this event is going at, we'll be wrapped up with qualifying about 3 p.m. We'll be ending the stream on Facebook and YouTube, starting it right back up after the scores are verified, get you into match play. We'll get coverage of that 3-game match play round for you. All the teams that make match play, you'll see once on the stream during those 3 games. And then we'll get to the top 5. Pinfall carries over all the way through the event. Bonus pins and match play. And then our top 5 will make that step ladder. If this is about like years past, that step ladder should start off probably closer to 5:15, 5:30 p.m. local time to make our way to our championship match.
That's the most makeable 4.9 ever. Fucking picture of this. Oh yeah, we're good. What a conversion. What a sharpshooter.
It's like the old Bowlers Day stopping by here at the booth at New Berlin Bowl. Mike Labinski stopped by. Dave Labinski's father. Mike, good bowler, many years. Ran some bowling centers, helped out with over the years as well in the Milwaukee area. I mentioned Shannon Labinski in a Junior Hall of Fame tournament earlier. Shannon is Mike Labinski's daughter-in-law, is his other son Stephen married to Shannon. So there's some tight-knit bowling families in the Milwaukee area. And some pretty darn good ones as well. Let's get you peeking over here at Bob Nowacek. He's had a couple of knee surgeries over the years. See, he's about probably about 8 pounds of braces all over his body right now, but still manages to get on the lanes whenever he can. He's one of those guys that got a new outlook on life after some medical stuff back in the day. And definitely a changed outlook for Bob Nowacek over the last 3 years. And of course, no major bowling event nowadays can't call yourself a big event unless you run a big amount of brackets. And we see here Gloria Bear, Bill Hoffman taking care of the bracket. Of course, Gloria, boy, you talk about people were clamoring before we were talking game 2 about bowling with the chance back in the day. She ran that thing like a well-oiled machine for many, many years. Of course, Bill Hoffman been by her side for many years now as well. And they're taking care of the bracket action here. At the Midwest Championship Doubles. I thank Joe Serrar for jumping in on the field today. Kind of a couple of comments from Joey about what he sees out here in our comment section on the Facebook feed of this event. And Joey and I, many, many years with Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, Spectrum Sports. Joey, great color analyst, still a student of the game after 40 plus years in the pro shop business down at Bowlers Pro Shop in Milwaukee. And with the way technology changes in this game, you can't be a pro shop guy and just sit there and do things like you did 20, even 10 years ago. Everything changes so much now. Next year going 2020 in August, bowling balls aren't going to be able to have weight holes. Now you can only dry off bowling balls with a dry towel and everything else, and everybody's got to be on top of things getting into next season. And just got an update. Down on 1 and 2, Jerry Mars and his partner, Jamie Kaiser, are sitting in third. They're trying to make a leap to the lead as Mars is on the front 9. Way out of our camera coverage, but we'll keep you updated. As to Jerry Mars' progress. Now you talk about, we mentioned Nowacek and health issues. Jerry Mars, geez. Before before the World Series of Bowling in 2014. Young guy. He admitted he wasn't taking care of himself. Heart attack. Got himself back in a bowling shape, and now he keeps pushing himself to keep getting into better and better shape. And Jerry, 2-mile run yesterday. Thought he was just going to have to alternate between running and walking, and put in the 2-mile jog, keeping things going. That's one thing for so many players. I mean, Jerry, just a regional PBA Tour guy, bowls a national event here and there when he can, but you look at so many guys on the PBA Tour that fitness is a priority. And it doesn't matter if you got a body type like A.J. Johnson, the muscle build, the football player build, or if you got a build like Andrew Anderson, lean and thin. These guys all taking care of their fitness to bowl. All those games on tour. I mean, if a player makes it through every qualifying round in the match play coming up on the PBA Tour for that winter part of the schedule from January to March 2020, they're going to bowl over 330 games in that time. I mean, your league session is 96. And that's over 9 months. So go ahead and change that up. And get your 3 years of league season in actually under 3 months, in about 2.5. You can see why players even at the age of Norm Duke, Walter Roy Williams Jr. is turning 60 soon, and they keep themselves fit, and they can still, even at their ages, be competitive out on the kids tour, as they like to call it, for the PBA 50 guys. See if we can get you an update on the progress of Jerry Mars. I don't think he stepped up in the 10th frame yet. I'm going to fully blame Michael James for the black cloud on Jerry Mars in the 10th frame. As soon as Michael James hit the record button on his phone to get some video, Mars went immediately left on the shot, left the 3-6. So still a chance for 278 for Jerry Mars. He and his partner, Jamie Kaiser, in pretty good shape to stay in the top 3. Just got a question about how our defending champions are doing with the Zagars after 2 games.
Won't answer that. I made an error in that.
Well, they're well of the plus right now. They're about 70 to the plus. They're sitting in the top 10. We'll get you a full update in game 3. I mean, come on, Matt. It's only game 2. Stop worrying about your kids that much. If it's Sharon watching, that's fine. If it's Matt, come on, Matt. You've been around way too long. So it's pretty interesting now seeing some of these players with the recent merger of Ebonite and Brunswick. Of course, Brunswick on the buying end of that merger. And some of these pro staff players, you see guys with Ebonite logos now throwing some of the Brunswick stuff. You see guys with Brunswick logos. Some of them are trying to throw some Ebonite stuff as well. And it's going to be pretty interesting on the PBA Tour season as 2020 goes on. I'm sure that Brunswick's going to end up making changes to their lower level staffing. Not at, obviously, the Pro Tour level, but a lot of their amateur staff or lower level PBA staff, I'm sure, we'll be seeing some changes. Definitely two different types of outlooks for staffing between what Ebonite was doing and what Brunswick has done. And we'll have to see how that plays out during the 2020 season, as everything with that merger is still quite fluid. So players finishing up this third game. 2 games of qualifying remaining before we cut to our top 12. That will advance into match play as we take the long march towards this $2,500 championship prize in the 2019 Midwest Championship Doubles presented by Bowlers Headquarters. New faces coming on. Game 4 next. Shirley Stahl is still an amazing bowler at her age. Like I said, I'm not going to divulge age on air. I can't believe she actually admitted to it when she shot 300 at Castle Lanes about a week or so ago. Because you look at her, you just go, nope, there's no way the age she told them matches how she is, and her athletic ability on the lanes and her attitude on the sport and just how fluid and good everything still is after all this time, even with the crossover in the last shot. There will never be any stopping Shirley Stahl in the lanes. See what her husband Jim can do here when he steps up. It's a tough act to follow, and they've been married for, well over 20 years now. I mean, not to date myself too much, but Jim and I used to try to beat each other's heads in a lot of times back in the junior travel league days, and he bowled for Red Carpet Regency. I was bowling for Red Carpet South. Yeah, we just dated ourselves on that one. Hi, Jenny Rettmuller. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat for a while on Facebook. I was a little busy. Hope all's going well. Hopefully you're back. I saw that you're making your way back out to the lanes. Solid high school career. A couple of years of college bowling for her as well, for Jenny. And hopefully the knee's healing and you get back out there and get to throw the ball a little bit more. Sure, I'll see your mom this winter during the high school bowling that'll be going on. We'll bring you a couple of those high school bowling events on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, they're always going to be on the YouTube 10 on the Deck Productions channel. And when we team up with the Bowling Center, we put the live stream on Facebook on that center's or that sponsoring businesses Facebook page, like we're doing here today for Midwest Championship Doubles, sponsored by Bowlers Headquarters on the Bowlers Headquarters Facebook page. Coming up next Saturday, bright and early, 9 a.m., we'll be at Sussex Bowl out in Sussex, Wisconsin. High Five Brands, H5G Brands, sponsoring that team tournament. $5,000 first place on the line for that team tournament. And we'll bring that to you on the H5G Brands or the H5G Bowling Facebook page, along with the 10 on the Deck Productions YouTube channel. So put that on your calendar, 9 a.m. next Saturday, local time. H5G Brands Open, team shootout. Then we'll take a little bit of a breather until Friday. December 27th, we'll be out at Village Lanes in Monona, just outside of the Madison area. Second time there at Village Lanes for the 2019-2020 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. That event will have its finals starting at about 5 p.m. local time on the 27th. And a couple days later, Sunday, the 29th of December, the 11th annual Midwinter High School Classic Team Tournament, coming to you from Castle Lanes and Racine. We'll have the semifinals and final rounds for that tournament for you beginning at about 2 p.m. on December 29th. So you can mark those events on your calendar. Watch some of the best bowling in Wisconsin, thanks to our event sponsors on their respective Facebook pages, and always on the 10 on the Deck Productions YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody that's second screening us right now. We know Packers kickoff just getting ready to get underway. For those of you from Illinois, your Bears beat up on the Cowboys. I'm not a Bears fan, but if anybody team that can beat up on the Cowboys, I can be a fan of for a night. You get the Sunday off, so there's no reason why you people from Illinois should be watching us on your main screen right now. So after the next couple of shots are complete for these players, Game 3 will be in the books. Game 4 of this 5-game qualifying block for the 2019 Midwest Championship Doubles, presented by Bowlers Headquarters, coming up after player movement. How you doing?
How much I do the motor? Ain't too bad. 206, 253, 190. Now I'm gonna start blowing better. Well, I hope I don't do worse the last game. Just let it go and I figure I'd shoot 290 if I did. I didn't think I was, but apparently I am.
I am. Like, I don't know if I shall. I haven't doubled yet. I'll tell you that for sure.
Every time you get to the corner, it's like nice.
It's hard to strike your partner when you get more than 18. You keep getting confidence in your partner, it's hard to strike your partner. What are you happy about?
And Dave Lubinsky starting frame 2 with a strike for his team after 3 and 4. Okay. Don't expect to see that out of him. Lubinsky and Pearson. Your A's on 21, your B's on 21 are Jake Nimitz and Austin Bull. And you can see this 40-foot pattern is really starting to go away. As we enter this 4th qualifying game. There you see Ryan Lever, 22A. Lever partnered with Dale Traber. Traber, your double A. Buller's B on 22. Delbert Richards is B. Tyron Dice. Buller double B on 22. Dice, wow, that guy's had a heck of a couple of years down at Castleines and Racine. I think with all the money at Phil Awards for 300s and 800s, I think Mr. Dice had himself a very profitable year. back in the 2017-18 season for sure. We'll get you a couple frames of these guys. You're not missing anything on the other pairs yet. No start yet on 19 and 20, and they're actually just getting into their first balls of competition here in Game 4 on 17 and 18. Just got one pair finishing up their third game, and we should have a Game 3 scoring update for you. Coming across the wire from the tournament office as quickly as possible. Bowlers headquarters providing you this live stream. The 2019 Midwest Championship doubles. Lots of specials going on at Bowlers headquarters, 92nd Street between Oklahoma and Beloit in Milwaukee. If you've been looking for an ebonite choice, this could be your best time to pick it up in the 15-pound variety. On the extended Black Friday sale at Bowlers headquarters, that ball is on sale for $175 with your drilling, finger grips, and thumb slug included. So lots of extended Black Friday sales at Bowlers headquarters. As we mentioned earlier, 10% off all your bowling bags, shoes, and accessories that are in stock for the rest 2019. So see Chad Kloss, Will Welch, your Hall of Famer, John Megna. For your bowling needs at Bowlers headquarters. And once again, I thank them for not just the sponsorship of this live stream, but added money to the prize fund here in this Midwest Championship doubles. Get you over to lanes 19 and 20 here. And there you see on lane 20 coming off the lanes, Jermaine Metcalf, double B, your 20 single B, it's Justin Spinks. A and double A on lane 20, Steve Yeager and Doug Linsmeyer. Yeager being the A on 20, Linsmeyer the double A. Over on lane 19. David Cole. 19A, Eric Pollock. 19AA, Brian Thompson. 19B, and Zach Wolfel. 19BB. Give you a couple of frames with these players and work our way down to 17, 18 for some player introductions coming up in a frame or so. Well, you see the pin left on 22. That was a 4-pin originally that Delbert Richards left and slid into just behind the 5-pin spot. No problem with the conversion there though, for Richards.
I know. All the way to the 5.
See Zach Wolfel stepping up in lane 20. Great college career for Wolfel at UW Whitewater. Helped that team to 4 consecutive appearances at the Intercollegiate Team Championships. Let's get you over to lanes 17 and 18. As those bowlers will be entering their 5th frame shortly. (18A), Justin Schultz leading off that pairing with Maurice Smith. Smith will be 18AA. Longtime doubles partners Rich Mueller and Todd Drouillard are 18B and double B on that pair. Drouillard, the double B, starting with the front 3. They're paired up with, on lane 17, your A and double A are Chris Hafes and Nick Rosenditch, respectively. 18B and double B on your scorecard is Markel McSwain and Michael Chambers, waiting on that 3-game scoring update to come out of the tournament office. There it is, hot out of the hands of Michael James. Doug Schmidt's right-hand man. Your standings after 3, your top 5. Let's start with number 1, Charlie Reed, Riley Smith. Hold on to that lead and extend it. As they get out to plus 204, big move thanks to Jerry Mars and his front 9 in game 3. Jerry Mars, Jamie Kaiser in second, plus 162. Riley and Reed plus 204, or pardon me, Smith and Reed at plus 204. Kaiser Mars plus 162. Third place, Mike Style, Derek Off at plus 148. Fourth place, David Barris, Chad Mars. Barris and Maas at plus 124. And fifth place, John Davis, Jack Sullivan, plus 107. Just 15 teams to the positive. And your current 12th place team, the team that would make the cut, is only at plus 31. James Tucker, Chad Kloss at that number. With Dan Williams, Scott Helm just 5 pins behind Ryan Liebert, Dale Traber just 11 pins behind Kloss and Tucker for that 12th spot. Still easily another dozen teams within striking distance with 2 to go. If you get into teams like Scott McDougal and Bob Nowacek at minus 50, if they can turn around, put a couple of 50 over games on the board, they might find themselves making it into match play. Our leaders from game 1, Jordan and Spreadberry. Falling even farther back, they're in 26th place at 45 to the negative. After 3. Well, Lubinsky and Pearson, a bit of a struggle today for those guys. They currently find themselves back in a tie, 41st at minus 94. Lever and Traber. They're the guys on the cash number at plus 20. And Traber pacing in the 190, Lever pacing in the 180s this game. Lever with an open in the second, but he's got a chance to fill out for 224. Traber can still go off the sheet for 225. Delbert Richards, Tyrone Dice. Currently sitting in 7th place, plus 71 for your 22B and double B. And Austin Bull running into some problems on that shot. Bull and Nimitz sitting at plus 81 in 6th place after the initial 3 games qualifying. Once again, top 12 teams will be the ones advancing. Into the match play rounds, all pinfall carries over from qualifying into match play, and 30 bonus pins will be available per match. As the 12 teams will be split up into 3 pools. And those 3 pools, the winners from each of those pools will advance into the stepladder. They'll be seeded 1st through 3rd by total pinfall. And the 2 highest wildcard teams, the 2 highest 2nd place finishers from the 3 pools will be in the opening match of the stepladder finals. $2,500 on top today. To the team that takes home this 25th anniversary championship doubles title. Good to see some familiar faces joining us on the Facebook live stream. Hopefully you get a chance to see some of your favorite bowlers out here. Yeah, it's just about 15 or 14 frames remaining for these players. Trying to make their way into the top 12. Figure match play right around the 3 p.m. mark. No, actually it'd be a little earlier than that. They're starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's go with 2:30 p.m. After the scores are tabulated, everything's verified, and the bowlers get their assignments. So we are going to stop and restart the stream on both Facebook Live and on the 10 on the Deck Productions YouTube channel. So keep an eye on the Bowlers Headquarters Facebook page for that match play live stream. And we'll do a similar stop and start prior to the stepladder finals from here at New Berlin Bowl. Take a peek at our players here on 17-18. Justin Schultz and Maurice Smith, minus 76 for their first three. Rosendich and Hafes, a bit down the standings. Rosendich and Haves minus 112 in 45th position. McSwain and Chambers, 17B and double B. They had a rough start. They've made their way back to +1, sitting in 15th position. Chambers is going to need to get a big finish here for his team to keep moving up the standings. And that's not going to help with 3-6-9-10. And Drouillard and Miller, they've been fighting the struggles today, even though Drouillard right now sitting on the front 8, looking for the front 9, and he mixes it up and he has it. They are back at minus 220 for their first three, but a chance for Juilliard to get 100 of that back himself. If he can polish off all three in the 10th. So a chance for perfection on camera. We'll stay with this pair as they're going to finish off their 10th frame. Hafe's well-known bowling name around here for many years. His grandfather, Tom Hafe's a solid player. His uncle, Benny, GMBA Hall of Famer. Benny been in Alabama for a few years now coaching the college team down in the Mobile area. You see Haves trying to take the very direct line to the pocket on that fill ball. Try something a little different. Try to fight how this 40-foot pattern is starting to torch away. Even though it's a little bit of a ratio in the middle, about 3.5 to 1. We all know how quickly these modern day bowling balls can take that oil and redistribute it on and off the lane onto the bowling ball surface and downward towards the back part of the lane. There's a few heads shaking around here sometimes. You see them release the ball. They think it's a moderately good shot. And next thing they know, it's through the nose. Or they get some real big surprises thinking they're going to tickle it on a crossover shot and barely hit the head pin. Once again, Todd Juilliard, it's been a tough day for him and his partner, Rich Mueller, but Juilliard, 18 double B, he's going to have a chance to step up on lane 18 and throw this event's first perfect game. Jerry Myers' last game was close. He had front 9 before leaving a 3-6. Myers having a solid game just outside of camera range. He and his partner, Jamie Kaiser, sitting currently in second in the standings. Kaiser just put up a 212. Myers just needs to convert a single pin the 10th to put up 258, so the hot hand for Jerry Myers on that team. Putting up 278 and possible 258 back-to-back. Not easy to do on this tough condition. And Myers does put the 258 on the board. There's getting out of your teammates' way, and I don't think that's what Richie Mueller was trying to accomplish right there. Ball just had nothing left on it when it got to the hole. And you got the 4 out, but 5-7 still remains. Best way to convert that right now for Richie. Move 2 left with the feet, use the same strike target, and let the little extra distance back to the 5-pin. Give the ball enough time to come back and convert the 5-7, almost. And Todd Drury taking his time, writing down the score, and he's going to be stepping up on the front 9. We've made Michael James keep his phone in his pocket, so no black cloud on behalf of Michael James for the shot for Juilliard. Knows what he wants to do, projects it to the right. Flush, 10 back. And it's going to be too much for them to overcome with just 1 game to go. They'll get 80 back to the plus if Juilliard gets the last 2 strikes. 80 or so, you know. Plus 82 on the game, but they were well under 200 under at this point in time, so just trying to salvage what they can. That's way left, no break, and the 310 stands. But our longest run of the day thrown by Juilliard. Let's give you a peek at the scorers here. Lever and Traber, who are sitting on the cash bubble. Right now, they're going to keep themselves, they're going to give up 7 pins to the plus, keep themselves at plus 13, but still within striking distance. Meanwhile, Delbert Richards stepping up himself, and Tyron Dice may have some issues sticking in the top 10 without a full punch-out by both. Jake Nimitz, Austin Bull. 1 high, 1 low. You got Nips at 210, and Bull looking at a possible 145. As Yogi Berra once said, it's never over till it's over. It's never over until the last qualifying ball is thrown. And we've got just 10 frames of qualifying remaining here in the 2019 Midwest Championship Doubles presented by Bowlers Headquarters. Player movement, and that all-important Game 5 coming to you shortly.
Let me go get my shit. Get ready. One. Recut my shirt. Here we go. I'm gonna have all my polar emojis on now, goddammit. Oh my man, hell yeah. God, that picture must be fucked up.
And we'll start you off this game 17 and 18 for your 5th and final qualifying game. Well, there's the gentleman that's been bowling best in the house pretty much the last couple of games. Yeah, Todd Drouillard had 288 last game, but Mars just went 278, 258 in games 3 and 4 of this qualifying block. Mars bowling with Jamie Kaiser. Kaiser's A, Mars double A on 17. Fellers, bowlers B on 17. Feller of the Jeff variety is B. Feller of the Randy variety. I'm sorry, that's Keller, not Feller. Keller. Jeff Keller, 17B. Randy Keller, 17 double B. Over on lane 18. Champions from a couple years ago, Will Welch and Steve Jaros. Welch, 18A, Jaros, 18 double A. And Sean Morris and Ryan Enel, B and double B respectively on lane 18. Team's just finishing up game 4. Scoring update will be a few minutes yet for that pair of lanes, or for the whole field actually. This pair of lanes as well. Be a bit for the scoring update.
Oh, yeah, go back to replay.
What pin was that?
No shit. No shit.
That's some shit. That's good. Like, almost a foot and a half.
Really, I didn't even see it.
Maybe we'll pull up on YouTube later. Yeah.
Fucked up, man.
Shit was riding the way it was. Oh, baby. Shit was still like a foot and a half, man.
Is that the 4-pin?
Mars and Kaiser, you got to figure they got a little room over the bottom part of the field to advance the match play right now, but they don't want to use it all up. And a bad start now for Kaiser. Open. He's going to need to turn that around in a hurry. Mars, single pin spare in the first. And that one, a no-doubter by Jerry Money Mars. Oh, Charles with the chop of the 3 off the 6. Let's take a peek over next door, 19 and 20. Dan Hirsch and Warren White Jr., A and double A on lane 20 respectively. Wade Stoddy and Ryan Bale, B and double B on 20. Your scoreboard 19A. James Tucker, 19A. Chad Kloss, 19 double A. They've been fighting right around that number 12 spot for the last couple of games. We'll see where they're at coming into this game once we get that Game 4 scoring update. Kevin Gamak and Tyler Atkinson, 19B and double B. Gamak and Atkinson had some struggles. They were well under after their first 3. Stoddy and Bale were still within striking distance after 3. They were at minus 14. Once again, 4-game scoring update. Getting to you shortly. Again, once the bowlers are complete with this round, we'll cut to the top 12 teams. And those teams will be seated in 3 pools. Pool A, Pool B, Pool C by pinfall. So in that case, teams 1, 4, 7, and 10 will be in Pool A. Teams 2, 5, 8, and 11 in Pool B. Teams 3, 6, 9, and 12 will be in Pool C. And there'll be one match play game against each team in their pool. 3 pool leaders after those 3 match play games, 15 bonus pins for each win. Will advance and be seated by their pinfall in the top 3 spots of that step ladder. The top 2 second place teams from those pools will be the opening step ladder match as the wild card match when we get to that portion of the event. Now we got a rough cut here. You'll see Doug Schmidt walking in front of the camera in a moment with the cut board. First place plus 308. I'm assuming that's still going to be Charlie Reed and Riley Smith. Looks like right now 12th place plus 60. So that cut went up almost 30 pins in game 4. There you see Doug Schmidt with the board walking by. Cut went from plus 31 to plus 60, so we'll have to see which way the cut continues to go in this final qualifying game. Hot off the press, let's give you that 4-game rundown. And that plus 308, yes it was, Charlie Reed and Riley Smith. A 76-pin advantage over Kaiser and Mars in second. Kaiser and Mars at plus 232. Barris and Maas moving to third, plus 195. Style and Off dropped 1 spot in the fourth, plus 172. Fifth place, still John Davis, Jack Sullivan at plus 145. The defending champions, Kyle and Ryan Zagar, 6th plus 125. Dan Conrad, Dakota Vostri in a tie for 7th with Tucker and Klaas at plus 99. Richa and Amen, we'll get a peek at that twosome over on 21 and 22 shortly. Richa and Amen at plus 75, tied for 9th and 10th with Zach and Dustin Vassie. Sean Morris, Ryan Yanell in 11th at plus 70. Billy Harris, Gary Exner in 12th, plus 60. So 12th place, Harris and Exner, plus 60. 12 pins behind Markel McSwain, Michael Chambers. They had a terrible start to this tournament. As they were 119 under after the first game, and they've battled back with some exceptional bowling to get to plus 49 or plus 48, just 12 outside the cut right now. They're in a cash spot. Last cash spot right now, 14th place, Dan Williams, Scott Helm at plus 46. Scores have turned around a bit. We now have 21 of our teams at a positive score. So even a team like Daniel Carlson and Stephen Brinkman at plus 9, still with a solid chance, with a solid game that they can get themselves into the top 12 for match play. Actually, let's take you over to 21 and 22, as we have a couple teams on this pair that are looking to get themselves or stay inside the top 12. Dakota Vostri bowling with Dan Conrad. They're 21A and AA. A for Conrad, AA for Vostri. They're currently in that tie for 7th. Richa and Amon not too far behind. They're in a tie for 9th at plus 75. Advanced veteran Chris Mueller are 22A and AA. Mueller being A, veteran AA. Travis Jackson, DJ Cole, B and B on lane 22. And neither of those teams find themselves in the positive column in the standings at this time. So several teams within the cut number right now will bounce around a little bit. And you see Amon taking the lanes. He's partner with Adam Richa, and they're sitting in the top 10 currently. Amon looking to build on that 3-bagger. Make it 4 in a row for Harley. Klaus and Tucker looking to make a big move again here. And Klaus stops that team strike string at 7 in a row. However, they're in quality shape. Let's continue their march towards match play.
Disco.
Apparently, someone didn't see our microphone where they set their bowling bag on top, but there. Apologize for the extra ambient audio.
Right, that's good.
Conrad looking for the cover as he tries to keep himself and Vostri in good striking range of the top 10.
It's tucked in there.
What's the highest score that's been on this pair?
And Vostri with the skittish pickup of that 2, 5, and 8.
I might just ball the black ball for
Richard trying to go with the hard one. He's lucky to get 9 out of that one. That could have been 2-8-10 territory real quick.
Hey, nice call, Will.
Steve Giles bouncing the 4-7 out over on lane 18, made the 4-6-7 in his 5th frame. He and his teammate, they're close. Giles and Will Welch plus 34 on the outside looking in. Struggles this game though, as Welch has got an open with a double through 5 frames. No doubles in an open for Giles through 5. And that could have been 2 opens for Giles real quickly without that somewhat miracle conversion of the 4-6-7. Harley Ahman giving us his bowling philosophy in life, throw it and pray. I don't think that's just been his bowling philosophy for just today, though. I think it's been most of Harley's career. He's standing 4 feet away from me. I can't believe you didn't hear that. I said that's been your philosophy for bowling most of your life, right? Throw it and pray?
That's right.
Yeah, see?
I've been told I'm the luckiest bowler ever to live.
Chad Kloss here looking to throw a double on the board. He and Tucker having the best game I see out here in Game 5. And they're both pacing for possible 270s here in this final qualifying game. There you saw crawling into your picture, Jerry Myers over on 17 and 18. I've been corrected by the assistant tournament director, Michael James, on the next portion of the tournament. They are seeded by their qualifying position. However, pinfall is going to be dropped. So for some reason, I thought I saw a different form that said pinfall carried over, but I need to do my homework a little bit more for next year. This event's gone through a couple of changes over the last several seasons with qualifying formats, match play formats, and such. So. Take you back over to 21 and 22 momentarily as Dakota Vostri running into a little bit of trouble here in his 8th frame. You see his 210 standing on the pin deck on lane 22. Let's take you over to his spare attempt as he tries to keep his team in the top 10. How about that for Vostri? Huge cover on that 210. I'll get you over to another team that's heading near the top of the standings. Kaiser and Mars. Kaiser sitting on a possible 217. Mars still a possible 255 as Mars steps up in his 7th frame. Shred that rack, money. Shred that rack. Welch and Jarrow still trying to stay close. They're on the outside looking in right now. 17th place plus 34. And they're not throwing the scores they need to right now. To make their way up in the top 12 to advance. Let's get you over to 21-22. Richard just put a big double up on the board. Amon looking to continue that string out to 7. As they're currently in that tie for 9th, plus 75. Harley soft out of the hand. Too soft out of the hand. leaves the 6'10", gets the break on the split. Leaves himself the what should be easy spare conversion. Our team currently sitting in that tie for 7th with Conrad and Vostri. It's Tucker and Kloss, but Tucker and Kloss have the afterburners on right now. You see Tucker, 19A, the double on the board. Kloss looking to get his second 3-bagger of the game. Ball in hand, ball out of hand. 10 pins down for Kloss. Back to Conrad and Vostri. Conrad up on 21. And a huge break to leave just the 10. For Conrad.
3 on 24? Yep.
Good cover there by Chris Mueller as the facetious hooray, hooray. Huzzah, huzzah comes back. Welch trying to get himself a late chase with himself and Giles to try to get in the top 12. Never say die. Vostri, after that great cover on the 210, you see the head shake. He's got to make that adjustment on that right lane, lane 22. Take advantage of that big break he got, taking out the 4-7-10 on that strike. Let's see who goes first between Jaros and Richa. It should be Jaros. And there he is. Jaros can't get the light mixer to go. Richa. Almost had that 6-pin slide into an unusual position. Gets the big break though. Leaving just the 4-7. There you saw Tucker with that team with Kloss, week 10. Get over to Mars. There's Mars. And Mars can't get the 10 to go. Tucker looking to convert that 10, and we'll get over to Amon. No problem from Tucker. Harley kind of came over the top of that one. That must have gotten him a little extra length, though, as he manages to trip the 4 down. And Richa and Ahmed are looking pretty solid towards advancing in the top 12. Well, Jack Sullivan, John Davis, they're going to assure themselves into the top 12. Looks like Sullivan sitting on the front 10 off camera on 15 and 16. They were well in. They were in 5th place plus 145. And they will find themselves well in, even with some struggles for Davis that game. Davis looks like he had a game in the 140s. But that's why it's doubles bowling. Let your partner pick you up. Get you advanced into that semifinal round and start fresh in that pool seating. Let's take you over to Conrad, looking to hold tough with his team. They should have enough to advance if they stay clean in the 10th. And Conrad should be happy it's just the 2-8. They're at plus 99 right now for Conrad and Vostri. They were tied with Tucker and Klaus. Tucker and Klaus well by. Well, it was a flat 10 for Sullivan on that 12th shot. Still 299. Jack Sullivan, John Davis, you'll see them in the match play semifinal round. So we'll have some teams that'll be finishing off camera. They're a couple frames behind. Give you an estimate about 2:15 p.m. We'll restart the streams on Facebook, on the Bowlers headquarters page, and on YouTube on the 10 on the Deck Productions channel. And you'll see that 3-game match play semifinal round through both those outlets. When it commences, we're guessing about 2:15 p.m. Central Time for that start for those of you watching outside of the Central Time Zone. Conrad's going to have his fill ball. We'll take you over to Mars. Looking to keep his hot game going after his partner open. Mars, fast 8. Let's get you to Tucker. Tucker and Klaus is going to be well in. Great start to this game. 257 possible for Tucker. 279 possible for Klaus. Tucker likes it. Week 10 doesn't go. Mars, head on. The 4-pin for the cover. And Klaus flushes 10 back. Foster now to get 202. Somehow gets that 10 to go. I can't identify which of 7 pins were fighting over it to get it down, but one of them got the job done. Welch and Charles trying to make it. Welch just left the 4-7 in the 9th frame. They may not have enough to get gusto for a champs from 2017, as they were 26 out of the cut number behind Billy Harris and Gary Exner.
Oh, daddy boy.
Get out of here, man.
Jaros can go off the sheet for 212. 222 is the maximum for Jaros. Let's get over to Jaros, stepping up on lane 18. And being 26 behind with the scoring pace jumping up like it did last game might not be enough even if they were to strike out, and that's not going to happen with Jaros leaving the 3-6-10, and our 2017 champs might be on the way out of the event.
Trying to do the quick math on your scores. You're all over the fucking place.
So Tucker comes high. But he and Klaus will advance in 2. Match play, and like we said, match play going to approximate that start at 2:15 p.m. Central Time for those of you watching across the Midwest or wherever you may be in the world, taking in this 2019 Midwest Championship Doubles presented by Bowlers Headquarters. So enjoy a little bit of a break. Check your Bowlers Headquarters Facebook page or your 10 on the Deck Productions YouTube page. Let's start a match play at approximately 2:15 p.m. I'm $2 Phil Brylo. Remember, parents, take the kids bowling because they're going to have fun for life, and we'll see you a little shortly on this Sunday afternoon.
Really?
You could never order this year. Only off of your order.
You got like one with yeah.
I know I saw you guys.
Let's go. Good? 51. 51.
Nobody wanted it, so I mean. Yeah, I think I probably did. Yeah, I know.